All right, I'm so excited to be here on the Emmanuel Disciple Making Network with Nathan Taylor, and it's been so good to get to know Nathan a little bit. And I know those of you watching this don't know it, but this is take two. We had some technical difficulties before, so anyway, we're gonna try it again. Nathan, it is so good to see you, man, and I just love your family and appreciate what you guys are doing. But there's a lot of people maybe watching this that don't know as much about you guys. And so why don't you tell us about your family and where you guys have landed in Canada?
Well, it's good to be here with you and have this conversation. So my name's Nathan Taylor. My wife is Emily Taylor. We were both born and raised just down the road in Shudrint, Louisiana. After high school, we moved to Texas, went to seminary, went to Louisiana Tech as well, got my nursing degree. And then we had a few kids. We've got Melody, who is 4 years old, Madeline, who just turned 3 this month, and John Mark, who's 3 months old. So, about 2 months ago, our family picked up and decided to move to Calgary, Canada, which is right above Montana on the western side. If you're not familiar with it, it's okay. I wasn't until just a few years ago.
Yeah.
But while this has been a recent move, it's been something that's been stirring in our heart for a number of years now. Since 2019, we had plane tickets to come up here right when the COVID hit and
Yeah.
canceled them. So it's been a journey to try and get to where we are now, but by God's grace, we are finally here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're excited having seen God prepare you and now for you to go and looking forward to seeing what God's going to do through you. And you know, how have you guys? I know it's a quite a not necessarily all culture, but certainly it's a shock to the system going from, Louisiana, southern state up to Calgary, Canada. And so not just the culture, but how have you guys settled in, here over the last couple of months?
So it's been a process. We have learned a few things about Canada. We can say definitively is cold here.
Yes.
I know that y'all have gotten some cold weather yourselves this
Yeah.
past week, but we were the ones that shared that with y'all. It
Thank you
got
so
down.
much. Yeah, we
Oh, you're
appreciate that.
welcome.
Yeah.
We're trying to prepare some of y'all for the cold, so when y'all come up and visit, you won't
There
be
you go.
totally shocked yourselves.
There you go.
So it got down to negative 58 Fahrenheit with the wind chill a couple weeks ago.
Wow. Wow.
And then 2 days ago, it dumped about 8 inches of snow within a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
So we have truly experienced the Canadian winter at this point and had to learn all the things about shoveling snow and trying to get ice on your driveway so you don't slip and fall.
Yeah.
I've only fallen twice so
Oh,
far. I'm
good
told
for
that's
you.
pretty
That's
good,
good.
but
Yeah.
yeah. So learned about the block heaters and all those different things that I've never had to deal with in Louisiana.
Yeah, well, I guess not. I tell you, y'all's weather the last week or two makes our, 17 degrees this week. We were really shivering, but doesn't quite compare. Doesn't quite compare. So
That's
it's
right.
all
It's a
about
whole different.
perspective. It's all relative.
That's right. That's
True.
right.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, just to kind of, I mean, you moved from here to Canada, and we understand. I mean, this is a disciple making network here, and so certainly we're serious about the Great Commission and all those things.
Mhm.
But that's just sort of in a general sense. We think about making disciples of all nations. But why has the Lord brought you there? Where you are now, and what are y'all's long term goals? In the place where you've landed.
Right. So we think of America as a melting pot from all over the world. Calgary is a great snapshot of what a melting pot city is. You've got one of the churches we're kind of working with. They have about 100 people in their congregation, and there are over 20 nations who are represented within just those 100 people. So
Wow.
truly, you have the nations here in Calgary. So this is a great place to be able to go and touch the world in one location. And it's a place that is largely non-religious. You've got many of the people who are the immigrants who are coming in that bring their religion, but the native Canadians themselves are often in a kind of post-secular mindset to where religion just isn't even on their frame of ideas or thoughts anymore. So you really see this dynamic of I've been able to have conversation with Muslims, with
Mhm.
Sikhs, with
Yeah.
atheists, with Catholics, just all these different things within just the short amount of time period that we've been here.
Wow.
So God has really opened this window in this place to touch so many different places around the globe through the individuals who have immigrated there. And I think that's our heart, is to be able to go to a place that largely is non-evangelical. About 5% of the 1.6 million people that live there claim to be Christians.
Yeah.
So there's a great lostness, even though it's a very modern place. It's if
Yeah.
you walk through it, feel the city downtown, it feels like Dallas, it feels like Atlanta,
Yeah.
but the lostness is tremendous there as any other part of the world.
Wow.
So that's kind of what's brought us there or brought us here.
Yeah.
And long-term plan is just to make relationships with people. Like I said, I'm a nurse and I've got a job here at the local hospital, and I've already been able to make some connections and begin some friendships. We've been able to have dinner with a couple different people that are not believers, and we're slowly being able to have those sorts of conversations with people and beginning to open up as the relationships develop, injecting the gospel into that. And then we pray that God will come in and transform their heart, transform their lives, and to see their need for Jesus.
Yeah.
So over time, as hopefully people are converted, or maybe people just are getting their lives back right with God, to be able to bring a Christian community out of that, and from that develop a church.
Yeah.
So long-term goal is to be able to have a public space where people can come and meet together as a church, and that'll look a little different than there in the South.
Yeah.
It's too expensive to buy land or build or any of that. So most people will either rent a coffee shop, rent a community center, something of that nature, but just a place that people can meet and come and worship together.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, I mean, certainly, I know that your desire is to plant a church there, see churches planted there, multiplied, and excited to see how God works through that. And I certainly believe He will. But back here, I mean, I know you got family back here, you got church family, or former, sending churches that have sent you
That's
there,
right.
and so I know you want to share with them and with others who might be watching this. How can people pray for you guys and support you, through this phase in this process?
Well, of course, the biggest support is prayer, that lives are changed, mountains are moved, all things happen through prayer
Absolutely.
first. So just continue to keep us in your prayer. We are still transitioning, still trying to get settled in. So pray that there's not another negative 58 cold
Oh,
snap. That would be
yeah,
great.
that'd be great. That'd be great.
Yes, if I never see that again, I'll be okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So just the little things.
yeah,
Also be in prayer that we develop a community of godly Christian folks around us, around my kids, around Emily, around myself, who are able to support us through the transition. And then as we go into start focusing on the church planting effort itself,
yeah,
that they're there to continue to be with us, to encourage us, all those things. People just to be able to do life with.
yeah,
Also pray for my kids. We're looking at schooling options,
yeah,
and schooling options are not the best options here. Public school isn't an option, and just because of how liberal it is. So we're trying to navigate those waters right now in preparation for this coming up year. So keep that in your prayers. And I think as we come into the summer, we'll be looking at exactly what community does God want us to be planting in. There are many different options that all need a church. They all
yeah,
need that kind of effort and focus, but we want to know exactly where God wants us to be. And then once we figure that out, we plan on moving there. So then the housing situation behind that. So there's lots of dynamics moving forward
absolutely,
that need prayer over. You just need people who are
absolutely.
willing to say, yes, I'll commit to that, to pray over them.
Absolutely. Well, certainly I know prayer is the start, and certainly at this point in time in in y'all's settling in and just, having vision for where God is going to lead you and plant you in those things. But one of the things I want to make sure that we make available, here is a way for them to communicate with you and get on your newsletter list. And so we're going to put in the little show notes or notes below the on our YouTube channel. We'll put it there, a link to your email and how to get on your newsletter list and for updates, and of course your funding website, ways, to give funding. I know that you've got some support, but we're praying that as time goes along and y'all see the gospel get a foothold there, of course, eventually get to the place where you got a self-supporting church there that you're working with. But on the way to that, to have enough support where you can, give more time to that effort.
That's right.
And so certainly we want to, our prayer is that you'll be able to do that. And so we'll make those things available there in the notes below. And it sure has been good talking to you both times. The first time, it didn't work, and this time too. And so anyway,
That's right. I think this was the better take.
I
It
think so.
worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to have to be the better take. So, so anyway, well, God bless you, man. And those of you watching, if you like this content, you want to have more things to pray for, definitely keep watching this channel, like and subscribe to this channel. And we're going to have try to have other folks that are about doing God's work and trying to glorify and honor Him, so that we can connect them with your prayers. Those of you who are watching. And so, anyway, God bless you, Nathan. It's good talking to you, man.
That's good. Thanks, Brother Paul. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
You too.